Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In the previous session, we have discussed about rate of a reaction, factors affecting the rate of a reaction, and even we considered a quantitative relationship which is given by Goldberg and Wage in the form of law of mass action. So according to that, what it says, the rate of a chemical reaction is directly proportional to product of active masses of all the reactants involved in a balanced chemical equation. So we can say here that law of mass action gives the theoretical relationship. It gives the theoretical relationship between rate of a reaction and concentration of reactant species. And as I mentioned, what is required here? Just we need a balanced chemical equation is enough to give the law of mass action for any reaction. So thereafter even we considered a rate constant. Okay, we defined it. That rate constant is nothing but it is the rate of a reaction itself when concentration of all the reactant species involved in the reaction is taken as unity 1. And further we considered significance of a rate constant. Well, in this session we go for another concept called rate law, rate expression, or it is also called rate equation. So what it is? Rate law, or I can say rate equation or rate expression. Now, as we already mentioned, law of mass action. As I said, it gives the theoretical relationship between rate of a reaction and concentration of reactant species. But what about practical, or I can say actual relationship? Actual in the sense it depends on the mechanism, or simply I can say path of a reaction followed. So based on the path of a reaction followed, the relation between rate of a reaction and the concentration of reactant species will be different compared to law of mass action. Therefore, as we said, that law of mass action gives the theoretical relationship, but whatever the rate law, rate expression, or I can say rate equation, it gives the actual relationship, or I can say practical relationship between rate of a reaction and a concentration of reactant species. Well, here what it is, as I said, rate law gives the actual relationship between rate of a reaction and concentration of reactant species. So is the basic difference between law of mass action and rate law. Rate law, or I can say rate expression or rate equation. Well, here the rate law is the expression in which reaction rate is given in terms of molar concentration of reactants. As like law of mass action, there also rate of a reaction is given in terms of molar concentration of reactant itself. Further, how they differ means, well, here also the reaction rate is given in terms of molar concentration of reactant species. Further, with each term rise to some power, each term rise to some power which may or may not be equal to. So, what is the important thing here? That powers which may or may not be equal to stoichiometric coefficients involved in a balanced chemical equation. So, what you have done in law of mass action? All concentration terms are raised to respective stoichiometric coefficients. But in rate law, or I can say in rate expression, those powers which may or may not be equal to stoichiometric coefficients. So is that one more difference between rate law and law of mass action? So what is the first point I mentioned? Law of mass action is a theoretical concept, but rate law, or I can say rate expression, is an practical quantity. Okay, is an experimental quantity. And the second difference, in law of mass action, concentration terms are raised by respect to stoichiometric coefficients, but in rate law, or I can say in rate expression, the concentration terms are raised to some powers which may or may not be equal to stoichiometric coefficients. Well, here, as I said, the powers. which may or may not be equal to stoichiometric coefficients. It means how those powers are considered? That powers are considered only by knowing the mechanism of a reaction. Means one, if anyone wish to write the rate equation, or I can say rate law for a reaction, means one could know the mechanism of that reaction. Only by knowing the mechanism it is possible to get the powers, so that by knowing the power one can write the rate law for a reaction, or I can say rate expression for a reaction. Well, we go for some analogy here. Say by considering general reaction, A of A plus B of B plus C of C gives rise to product. If I want to write rate according to law of mass action, what it would be? Rate is equal to K into concentration of A raised to A, B raised to B into C raised to C. What it is? It is the law of mass action. So according to law of mass action, what we used to do? Concentration terms are raised to respect to stoichiometric coefficients. But what rate law or rate expression says? In a rate, the concentration terms are raised to some powers, which may or may not be equal to stoichiometric coefficients. So here what I have done, rate is equal to K into concentration of A raised to X, B raised to Y and C raised to Z. Here X, Y, Z, which may or may not be equal to A, B and C respectively. Well, how we get these X, Y, Z means, as I already said, by knowing the mechanism of a reaction, we are going to get the power of these terms. Well, the rate law for a reaction cannot be predicted from balanced chemical equation theoretically. As I said, that rate law cannot be predicted theoretically by knowing a balanced equation, but must be determined experimentally. Therefore, we say this rate law is an experimental quantity. Well, I hope you understood this. Well, we consider examples. Say one example, a reaction between nitric oxide and oxygen. So, 2 moles of nitric oxide combines with 1 mole of oxygen to give 2NO2. Here, when you look at the reaction equation, rate is equal to K into concentration of NO raised to 2 and O2 raised to 1. See here, stoichiometric coefficients of nitric oxide is 2 and oxygen is 1, and in the rate expression their powers are 2 and 1 respectively. It means, say, is a kind of simple reaction. This reaction takes place in only one step. Therefore, if I consider rate according to law of mass action as well as rate law, we are going to get the same equation, that is rate is equal to K into concentration of NO raised to 2 and O2 raised to 1. Well, if you consider one more example, what is that? Decomposition of dinitrogen pentoxide. 2N2O5 gives rise to 4NO2 plus O2. Well, it is also a balanced equation, but here when I look at the equations according to law of mass action and rate law, both will be different. According to law of mass action, what is the equation? One can say rate is equal to K into concentration of N2O5 raised to 2. Raised to 2. It means according to balanced equation there will be 2 moles of N2O5. Therefore, I can say rate is equal to K into concentration of N2O5 raised to 2. That equation will be according to law of mass action. But according to rate law or rate expression, what is the equation we get? Rate is equal to K into concentration of N2O5 raised to 1. So how we got that 1 power? It is by knowing the mechanism of a reaction. So overall, what is to be remembered here is, when you think of rate law or rate expression, first point to be remembered is it is an experimental quantity. Okay, then how we are going to get the rate law rate expression? Only by knowing the mechanism of a reaction. Well, so what is to be remembered? The first thing, in case of simple reactions, it means if the reaction takes place in only one step, in such case what happens? the exponents are equal to stoichiometric coefficients of a balanced chemical equation. So whatever the first example I specified is it's a simple reaction. Therefore, stoichiometric coefficient itself becomes the exponents there. Well, second thing, the exponents which can be 0, which can be positive whole numbers, or it may be fractions, which must be determined by experiment. So whatever the exponents we get in rate law or rate expression, what are the possibilities? They may be positive whole numbers, they may be negative, or even sometimes they may be fractional values. Those values, that is those exponents, must be determined by conducting a experiment. It means by knowing the mechanism. Well, when we think of differences between rate of a reaction and rate constant, how they differ from one another. Say rate of a reaction, we know it is what it is. It is the change in the concentration of any of the reactant or product per unit time. So what that rate of a reaction says? It is the change in the concentration of any of the reactant or product per unit time. It's called rate of a reaction. But on the other hand, what is the rate constant? Rate constant is the rate of a reaction when concentration of all the reactant species is taken as a unity. So it first difference between rate of a reaction and rate constant. Second difference, here rate of a reaction depends on the concentration of reactant species. We already mentioned. So therefore I say it depends on the initial concentration of reactant species. How it is related? Both are directly proportional. More the reactant concentration, more is the rate of reaction. Less the concentration of reactants, less is the rate of a reaction. So overall what we can say, it depends on the initial concentration of reactants. But what about rate constant? It is independent. As you already shared, the here concentrations are kept constant. Therefore, we say it is independent of initial concentration of a reactants. So is the second difference. Then the third difference will be when you look at the unit for rate of a reaction. What is the general form? Concentration per time. General form will be concentration per time, or else we can say moles per liter per time. That is moles per liter per second, moles per liter per minute as like. So generally the unit of rate of a reaction will be in the form of concentration per time. But we already mentioned it, the unit of rate constant depends on the order of a reaction. It means as order changes, the unit of rate constant also changes. So these are the three differences between rate of a reaction and a rate constant. Well, say illustration part. One example, 2NO plus H2 gives rise to N2 plus 2H2O. So when I look at the example, say it is also a balanced equation. But this reaction takes place in two steps. Okay. What is the first step? Here 2 moles of nitric oxide combines with the 1 mole of hydrogen. 2 moles of nitric oxide, it combines with the 1 mole of hydrogen to give dinitrogen and an intermediate compound formed. It is H2O2. Hydrogen peroxide will be formed here. The formation of hydrogen peroxide proceeds with a slope. Therefore, we say the first step will be the slowest step. Well, second step, whatever the hydrogen peroxide formed, it is highly unstable. Therefore, it readily combines with the dihydrogen, another molecule of hydrogen, to give 2 moles of water molecule. Therefore, when you look at these two steps, it indicates the mechanism of a reaction. How we get these means by conducting an experiment. So we say by knowing the mechanism, one can get to these two steps. Well, in the first step is the slowest step. Here 2 moles of nitric oxide combines with 1 mole of hydrogen to give dinitrogen and hydrogen peroxide. In the second step, hydrogen peroxide combines with 1 mole of hydrogen to give 2 moles of water. So what is the net reaction here? 2NO plus 2H2 gives rise to N2 plus 2H2O. So here, when I think of rate of a reaction, actually rate of a reaction depends on the slowest step of a reaction, or you can say mechanism. So we call rate a determining step. Well, who is going to determine the rate means the slowest step of a multi-step reaction going to determine the rate of a reaction. Therefore, we say rate of a reaction depends on the slowest step. Therefore, this first step is called rate determining step or DS. Therefore, what I can say from experiment, how I can get the rate law here? Rate is equal to K into concentration of NO raised to 2 and concentration of H2 raised to 1. So this equation specifies the rate law or a rate expression or rate equation. So this equation specifies the rate law, or I can say rate expression. But theoretically, or I can say from law of mass action, what is needed? By knowing the overall net equation. That is, this by knowing this balanced equation, what that rate will be equal to concentration of NO raised to 2 and concentration of H2 raised to 2. So there is a difference from experimental quantity and from law of mass action. We are going to get a different equations. So here from experiment, rate of reaction depends on the second power of concentration of nitric oxide, first power of concentration of hydrogen. But according to law of mass action, rate of reaction depends on the second power of concentration of nitric oxide as well as second power of concentration of hydrogen. So there is a difference between those two parts. So we are going to get different equations in accordance with the law of mass action and in accordance with the rate law, or I can say rate expression. Well, so what is to be remembered here is the rate law correspond to the slowest step of a multi-step reaction. The first point to be remembered here is the rate law, or I can say rate expression or rate equation. It corresponds to the slowest step of a multi-step reaction. And what that slowest step is called? The slowest elementary step of a multi-step reaction is called rate determining step. In short, it is abbreviated as RDS. Further, the overall rate of a multi-step reaction depends on the RDS. Overall, if I consider the rate of a overall reaction also depends on the rate determining step itself. And if I consider a simple reactions, what happens? Those simple reaction takes place in only one step. So we say single step reactions. Simple reactions, or even I can say single step reactions. In case of single step reactions, or I can say simple reactions, what about law of mass action and rate law? Both the expressions are same. As I already mentioned one example there. So in case of simple reactions, or I can say single step reactions, law of mass action and rate law expressions are same. But what about multi-step? Those expressions will be different. Okay. Well, so these are the important points to be remembered while dealing with the rate law, rate expression, or I can say rate equation. Well, coming to the simple reaction, or I can say single step reactions, or even it is called elementary reaction. As we come across simple reaction, or I can say single step reactions, or they are even called elementary reactions. Well, what it is? As we said, simple, or the name itself says simple, or I can say single step. It means this reactions takes place only in one step. So I can say the reaction which takes place in only one step are called simple reactions. Well, example for these. So one example, reaction between nitric oxide and ozone molecules. So nitric oxide combines with ozone to give nitrogen dioxide and oxygen molecule. So it's a simple reaction, single step reaction. And I mentioned what is the point to be remembered for simple reactions? Law of mass action and rate law, both are going to have a same expressions. So I can say here, according to law of mass action, what is the rate? Rate is equal to K into concentration of NO raised to 1 and concentration of O3 raised to 1. Similarly, if you go for according to rate law, what is the equation? Rate is equal to K into concentration of NO raised to 1 into concentration of O3 raised to 1. It means, remember, for all simple reactions, law of mass action and rate law are going to have same expressions. Or in another words, I can say those exponents will be same, powers will be same. Or I can say stoichiometric coefficient itself is the exponents in both the expressions. Okay. Well, other examples for simple reactions. Say H2 plus I2 gives rise to 2HI. Here rate is equal to K into concentration of H2 raised to 1 and I2 raised to 1. So is the expression for both law of mass action as well as rate law. And one more example, N2 plus O2 gives rise to 2NO. So what is the rate? Rate is equal to K into concentration of N2 raised to 1 and to O2 raised to 1. And ammonium nitrate NH4NO2 gives rise to N2 plus 2H2O. Here rate is equal to K into NH4NO2 raised to 1. It means, so what is the thing to be remembered for simple reaction is, for all simple reactions, rate law and law of mass actions are going to have a same expressions. Well, what is the other type? Complex reactions, or even they are called multi-step reactions. That is multi-step, more than one, two or more we can say. If reaction takes place in more than one step, or I can say if it takes place in two or more steps, then it is considered as a multi-step reactions, or I can say complex reactions. So the reaction which takes place through a sequence of two or more elementary reactions are called multi-step reactions. One example, say reaction between nitric oxide and dihydrogen. So what is the net reaction? 2NO2 plus 2H2 gives rise to N2 plus 2H2O. Okay, so is a overall reaction, net equation. But if I consider the mechanism of this reaction, that is experimental data, this reaction takes place in two steps. In first step, what happens? 2 moles of nitric oxide combines with 1 mole of hydrogen to give N2 and H2O2, as we mentioned. Further, what happens in the second step? That H2O2 being unstable readily combines with hydrogen molecule to give 2 moles of water molecule. So net reaction 2NO plus 2H2 gives rise to N2 plus 2H2O. So is an example for complex reactions. Now here, if I consider the equations according to law of mass action and rate law, whether both are same or different, in this case will be different. Okay. So according to law of mass action, what is rate? Rate is equal to K into concentration of NO raised to 2 and H2 raised to 2. But according to rate law, rate is equal to, what is the rate determining step? Slowest step. So we have to consider the first step here. Okay. So rate is equal to K into concentration of NO raised to 2 into concentration of H2 raised to 1. So here, so overall for multi-step reaction, what is to be remembered? For all multi-step reactions, the law of mass action and rate law are going to have a different expressions. Okay. Well, one more example, that is decomposition of hydrogen peroxide in presence of iodide ions. That is in presence of iodide ions in an alkaline medium. So hydrogen peroxide, the decomposition of hydrogen peroxide is catalyzed by iodide ions, gives rise to water molecule and oxygen gas will be liberated. So well, it is a overall equation, a balanced equation. Now if you consider the mechanism, this reaction also takes place in two steps. So what happens here? Hydrogen peroxide, the molecules of hydrogen, 1 mole of hydrogen peroxide combines with the iodide ion. gives rise to water molecule and iodate, IO minus. This reaction is slow as there will be formation of ionic species, therefore it takes place with a slower rate of a reaction. So I can say now is our first step is going to determine the rate of a reaction, or simply we can say first step is the RDS, rate determining step. So now the overall rate of a reaction depends on the first step itself. Well, what is the second step? 1 more mole of hydrogen peroxide combines with IO minus gives rise to water, iodide will be regenerated and oxygen is liberated here. So it's the fastest step. Now I can say if I consider the rate according to law of mass action and rate law. So according to law of mass action, what I can say? Overall equation, rate is equal to K into concentration of H2O2 raised to 2. But according to rate law, what is the rate? Rate is equal to K into concentration of H2O2 raised to 1 into concentration of I minus raised to 1. Okay, so it is regarding rate law, or I can say rate expression and simple reactions, multi-step reactions, and the relation between, okay, how they are related with each other. Further, even we consider the differences between rate of a reaction and rate constant. Well, I hope you understood these concepts. Again, in the next session, we discuss about some other concept of a chemical kinetics. Thank you.
Thanks for watching.
Like,
Comments
share,
and
subscribe.